Welcome to the third day of our 7-day series designed to help you reduce stress and cultivate calm and confidence. Intense emotions are a common part of life. The term emotion suggests motion, movement, and rightly so. Emotions press us to act and respond, serving as a critical survival function. And without emotions to fuel our behaviour, we wouldn't have come very far as a species. However, while motivations excel at motivating us, they lack sophistication in judgment. And this is not necessarily a flaw. Overthinking can be a liability in high-risk, time-sensitive situations, such as when escaping from a dangerous animal. In everyday life, however, emotions can take centre stage and hold the reins too frequently. And this can undermine your well-being and your clarity of mind. Essentially, the way that you interact and respond to the situations that you confront. Consider this: you have an argument with a friend. Afterwards, the emotional upheaval may spiral into negative thoughts such as, "People always mistreat me," or "I'm never appreciated." You try to push your feelings down, but it's a little like holding a ball under the water. At some point, it's going to surface. And frequently, thoughts manifest through your actions. So perhaps you're upset from the recent argument bubbles over into being short-tempered with your partner or someone else, even though it doesn't really concern them. This leads to confusion and misunderstanding with someone you rely upon to be in your corner and on your side. And as a result, your emotional upset increases. This serves as an example of how being led by emotions can create additional stress for ourselves. But you can learn healthy ways to process your emotions, thereby reducing emotional discomfort and enhancing your decision-making in the present moment. If you remain unaware of or suppress your feelings, these will subtly guide your thoughts and actions without your conscious awareness. Now, this happens because emotions come before thoughts. Well, here's another example. Say you find yourself in a situation in which you feel anxious. You tell yourself there's no reason to worry, that everything should be really fine. However, that logical reassurance didn't ease your emotional state. In fact, it might increase your worry or stress as you wrestle to understand your emotional state. If you've experienced something similar, you already recognize that we have different types of knowing. There's intellectual knowing. This is the cognitive, rational understanding with our minds. And then at a deeper and instinctive level, there's an emotional knowing. And this is governed by how we feel. To genuinely ease and calm the nervous system down, it's our emotional state that we first need to understand and address. Because our thoughts are a byproduct of our emotions, being directly influenced by your emotional state. So, if fear is the dominant emotion, it strongly influences your thought processes. And trying to change your thoughts while ignoring this foundational emotion is often ineffective. To truly address upset and distress, a more helpful response involves practicing the art of willingness. Now, this skill entails being open and receptive to your emotions' messages. And this is what your emotions may be trying to signal to you. For instance, by tuning into and listening to these emotional signals, you can make more meaningful progress in managing both your emotions and then your thoughts. So in this exercise, we'll practice inviting an uncomfortable emotion in, exploring what it may be signaling to you. We'll begin by visualizing an emotion and working to process it so it can pass. Now, a quick note: beginning with mildly difficult emotions rather than overwhelmingly intense ones is advisable. You may want to place a pen and notepad nearby, and after the session, take a moment to jot down any insights or reflections. To begin this practice, either seated or lying down, or just find a place or point of comfort. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes, find a point of focus, and take a few deep breaths as you follow my voice. Become aware of your body's movements as you breathe. Now, broaden that awareness to your overall posture, any sensations you experience. Feel the room's temperature and the sensations within your body just at this moment. Place a hand gently on your chest and connect more deeply with your natural breathing rhythm. As you maintain focus on your body, identify any emotions you may have brought into this exercise. What feelings are present for you right now? And can you name them? Observe the bodily sensations linked to these emotions. Without trying to change anything, just notice with curiosity and be open to examining or receiving these sensations further. Like an explorer who comes across a new species, simply be interested and curious to see what you might learn. Are the sensations localized, or maybe in your chest, or perhaps a tense jaw? Or do they spread throughout your body? Does the emotion feel heavy or light, or perhaps solid or fluid? Is there a texture or colour associated with the feeling? Now, you may feel fatigued and wish to stop or disengage, and this is completely natural. But try if you can to hold your focus just past the point of discomfort and notice the urge to stop without acting upon it. Take a deep breath and turn towards these feelings with gentle curiosity. Consider what it's like to carry this emotion with you. Sometimes our bodies, our lives are trying to pass us messages. And sometimes we might not know how to receive or even wish to acknowledge what that thing might be. So we hold it at arm's length. But it's like a weight. If we hold that weight at arm's length, at some point it's going to become very, very heavy to carry. Yet instead, if we pull that weight in, if we receive that message, whatever it might be willing and wishing to tell us, we can change our relationship with the underlying messages. So place a hand where you feel it most, allowing the warmth and kindness from your palm to permeate the feeling. And remember, no emotion is permanent. They ebb and flow. Acknowledging difficult emotions allows them to pass through you over time naturally. So repeat after me, either silently or aloud. This emotion is not me. It doesn't define who I am. I'm not obligated to act upon it. But I might choose to listen to it, and I can observe it as it passes by. Continue breathing effortlessly as you alternate your focus between the emotion and your breath. And gradually expand your awareness back to your body and the environment around you. And when you're ready, open your eyes. That's good. Now, the instinct may be to block or avoid intense emotions, but short-term coping mechanisms often lock us into repetitive cycles. So grab the paper and pen you may have set aside earlier and write down your insights. What may have been the message in what you experienced? May something there have been wanting to share or tell you something important? That's not necessarily the case, but being open and willing to receive the messages. Well, this is really a superpower of anxiety. So each time you revisit this exercise, you strengthen your ability to sit with discomfort without being controlled by it. Thanks for spending this time with me. Tomorrow we'll focus on how to change negative self talk habits. Take care and see you back here then.